Hello and namaste. Diwali is here. Better ready for the celebrations, sweets, gift, and the wonderful festival vibes. Welcome to the Falling Earth podcast brought to you by Avakar. I'm Shrajay, your host, and I'm back with another interesting episode. Our environment is precious to us, more precious than anything else. This is why, when we see the things that beautify or assert the environment in any sense, we call it the green gold. In the festive season, we send off gifts and we want them to be memorable and tender. The Gift Green Gold campaign by Avakar gives you wonderful choices of gifts to be packed and sent with love to your loved ones. This festive season, why not gift something that adds new meaning to people's lives and strengthen our bonds with ourselves and nature? Speaking of which, with me today is a very special person, an unorthodox scientist and a passionate serial entrepreneur, Amit. Welcome to our show, Amit. We are glad to have you today.
Thank you, Shrajay. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Wonderful. So let's begin today's session, which is on the fragile crops. It's been 13,000 years since humans began agriculture. Forging to farming was a sustainable choice of living back then. Today, we have extremely advanced agricultural techniques producing more and more food and plant-based essentials. But the images worldwide are showing a trend where our crops are being dyed in an uncanny fashion. 86% of the indigenous apple varieties in the United States, Anasalt pears, Cornish cauliflowers, all vanished. Speaking of India, we had about 500,000 varieties of paddy, which is now reduced to only 6,000. Modern day consumers can hardly name 5 of them. So Amit, can you please enlighten us about how these trends are and how are they occurring exactly?
Yes, Shrajay. I believe paddy is a very good example of crop extinction in India. Now, before we ask why is crop extinction happening, one must understand why we need to be concerned about it. The lack of agro biodiversity means a lot of worrisome. We developed high-yielding crops with a broader vision to manage the global hunger problems. These crops are energy dense but come with low nutrient content, which creates unbalanced diets and therefore a struggle between the quality of food and the quantity of it. Furthermore, the reliance on such a small batch of different crops make it far too easy to suffer from a food crisis. We have COVID-19 pandemic where the virus spread throughout the world affecting humans from all genetic background. Similarly, plants may also face epidemics. If crop fails, such as with the increase in weed disease epidemics attributed to global warming, the majority of the food system will also be down because there is no agro biodiversity. That would lead to easy transfer of disease among the crops. We're also aware of the locust attack happened in 2020 that originated in Africa and traveled all the way to India. So yeah,
That is so insightful, Amit. Means, the crops can also face epidemics. So in that case, the major focus shall be on regaining the agrobiodiversity, I suppose, is it?
absolutely true, Shajai. The European Parliament asked for the European nations to find ways to preserve the biological and genetic diversity of crops for this very reason. So that plant breeders can provide adaptable varieties able to cope with projected climate change and the need to increase yields.
So Amit, why are we losing our crops so rapidly? As you mentioned, climate change is mostly responsible, but what are the other potential threats?
Of course, undeniably, climate change triggers numerous activities that should be happening globally. The regions where it's supposed to rain are suffering from droughts. The regions which are supposed to have a snowfall are getting rainfalls. This might not affect humans directly for now, but the whole vegetation of the geography has developed its own ways to survive, which are not working anymore. So they're going to extinct. The other reasons are the industrial and green revolution, agriculture, and the globalization of the food system and marketing. They leave farmers with the option of growing none other crops apart from the famous ones, keeping the diversity behind.
Right. So now that we know the reason and the possible threats, one must look forward to the solutions. I'm aware of an international seed vault at Svalbard, Norway, where the seeds from all over the world are being kept and stored safely. The island of Svalbard is pretty isolated and calm, far away from human intervention in the chilling northern climate. They have been proven useful in saving the seeds from Icarda gene bank in Syria. The Icarda gene bank had been victim of an unfortunate civil war, and when that civil war was over, the seeds that were stored in Norway were sent back to Icarda, where the crops were regrown and saved from extinction. So, Amit, what do you think? Is this solution alone appreciable in handling the crisis of crop extinction?
Well, Rajesh, storing the seeds in a vault is a very good option. That would act as a reservoir in case of calamities, of course. But I would say this is the solution that would tackle the problem at the surface rather than the root level. The root problem is climate change, Rajai, and human intervention with nature. So, I believe the best solution if we want to save our crops fighting climate action and let nature do its job.
Such a wonderful thought, Amit. Means that is so agreeable. Fight climate change and let nature do its job. A common man may think that what minimal contribution they can provide. But the reality is that their contribution is an ocean of hope. Hope for a better world tomorrow. When we contribute with our best capacities, we not only reduce our impact on the climate, but inspire hundreds of others to proceed for this good deed. Gift Green Gold is one of those contributions, which would flourish the essence of today's talk. This is Diwali season, and definitely the best occasion for a new passion to begin with. That's when you motivate your family and friends for their share of endowments for the environment. Fighting climate change is a necessity. It's happening here and it's happening now. But saving the falling earth is very much possible. We just need to have dedication for it. Thank you, Amit, for the wonderful show, and thank you, audience, for their support.
Thank you, Shrajai. Thank you, everybody.
See you next time.